They think I'm brain dead. Everyone does. My wife, my kids, my brother, the doctors. The machines say I'm gone, but I can hear every single word. 3 days ago, I went in for a routine procedure. Something went wrong. I felt myself slipping away during surgery. Then I woke up, but my body didn't. I can't move, can't open my eyes, can't make a sound. The medical term is locked in cinder, but I didn't know that yet. What I did know was this. I could hear my wife crying. Then I heard her stop crying. That's when the conversation changed. The insurance pays double if he dies during the hospital stay, my brother said. My wife went quiet. Then, when does the hospital stay end? That was my son, my fucking son. I tried to scream, nothing. Tried to move, nothing. Just darkness and their voices getting clearer, more excited. They started making plans. My business goes to my brother. He's been helping run it anyway. The house to my wife, obviously. My vintage car collection to my son. Everything divided before I'm even dead. Then my wife asked the doctor something that stopped my heart. If we remove life support, how long would it take? I've been awake for 73 hours. They're signing a do not resuscitate order this afternoon. But this morning, I moved my finger, just once. The nurse didn't notice. I'm running out of time to prove I'm still here.
Let me take you back to 4 days ago, when I was still alive in the only way that mattered. I was David Marchetti, 52 years old, owner of Marchetti Commercial HVAC, 15 trucks, 32 employees, contracts with half the office buildings in the county. I'd built that business from nothing, 26 years of 12-hour days and missed birthdays and doing the right thing even when it cost me. My wife Linda and I had been married 28 years, 2 kids, Marcus, 26, and Rachel, 24. My younger brother Tom worked for me. I'd brought him into the business 5 years back when his restaurant failed. Family takes care of family. That's what I believed. Should have paid more attention to the cracks. Marcus never forgave me for refusing to make him a partner at 23. You need to earn it, I told him. I'm not handing you something I bled for. He stopped coming to Sunday dinners after that. Rachel hadn't spoken to me properly since I refused to fund her third startup, some cryptocurrency thing that made no sense. She called me risk-averse, small-minded. Linda had been cold for years, separate bedrooms for the last 18 months. She said I snored. I didn't fight it. Tom was the fun one. I was the responsible one. Always had been. The surgery was supposed to be simple, mitral valve repair, minimally invasive. The cardiologist showed me the statistics, 95% success rate, home in 3 days, back to work in 2 weeks. Nothing to worry about, he'd said. Linda seemed anxious the morning of, kept checking her phone. I figured she was nervous, that made sense. Marcus and Rachel both showed up at the hospital, which surprised me. They were never around anymore. Marcus had called out of work, Rachel drove 2 hours from the city. "Wanted to be here for you, Dad," Rachel said, kissing my cheek. It felt good, like maybe we'd turned a corner. Tom arrived with coffee for everyone, made jokes with the nurses. Classic Tom. "You're gonna be fine, Davey. Probably come out of this with a better heart than mine." The pre-op area was freezing. They had me in a gown, IV already in. The anesthesiologist was younger than Marcus, couldn't have been more than 30. He explained the process, general anesthesia. I'd count backward from 10, wake up in recovery. Any questions? I shook my head. Linda squeezed my hand. Her palm was sweaty. "I love you," she said. First time she'd said that in months. "Love you too." They wheeled me back. Bright lights, cold air, the surgical team moving around me like choreography. Someone placed a mask over my face. "Count backward from 10, Mr. Marchetti." 10, 9, 8. The world dissolved. Then nothing. Then everything. I didn't know how much time had passed. Could have been minutes, could have been hours, but suddenly I was aware, conscious, awake. Except I wasn't. My eyes wouldn't open. My mouth wouldn't move. I tried to take a breath on my own. Couldn't. Something was breathing for me, a tube down my throat, the rhythm mechanical. In, out, in, out. I tried to move my hand. Nothing. My foot? Nothing. Scream, make a sound, anything. Nothing. Just the beeping, steady, rhythmic, and voices. Linda was crying. I could hear her, soft sobs somewhere to my right. A doctor's voice, calm, clinical. "I'm so sorry, Mrs. Marchetti. There was a massive complication during the procedure, an embolism. We did everything we could, but the damage to his brain is extensive. Brain activity is minimal. We're not sure he'll ever wake up." No, I'm right here. I'm awake. I screamed it in my head, threw everything I had into opening my eyes, moving a finger, anything. Nothing happened. "What does that mean?" Linda's voice croaked. Is he going to die?" "We're keeping him stable for now, but I need you to prepare for the possibility that he may never regain consciousness. Even if he does, the person you knew may not come back." Linda's sobs got louder. Then another voice, younger, Marcus. "How long do we wait?" That question hung in the air like poison. The doctor cleared his throat. "That's something we'll discuss as we monitor his condition. There's no rush to make any decisions right now." Footsteps, someone leaving, probably the doctor.
Silence. Just the machines, the breathing tube forcing air into my lungs. Then Tom's voice, quieter, right next to me. So what happens to the business if he doesn't make it? Hour 1. I stopped trying to move, started trying to understand. The room was quiet except for the machines. Linda was still there. I could hear her breathing, uneven and thick. Someone else too. The chair creaked. Tom. You should go home, he said. Get some rest. I'll stay with him. I can't leave him. Lynn, he doesn't know you're here. The way he said it, like I was already gone. Linda's voice hardened. Don't. I'm just saying, I know what you're saying. Silence. Then her footsteps. The door opened and closed. I was alone with my brother. Tom's chair scraped closer. I felt his presence next to the bed. Then his hand on my arm. Pat, pat. Jesus, Davy, he whispered. For a second, I thought he might cry. Thought maybe I'd been wrong about what I heard earlier. Then his phone rang. Yeah, he answered, low voice. No, he's still out. I know. Listen, if this goes the way I think, we'll have full control by next week. The accounts, the contracts, everything. Just keep the crews running and don't let anyone panic. My heart should have been pounding, should have shown up on the monitors. Nothing changed. Tom kept talking. She's on board, I think. The kids definitely are. Yeah, Marcus gets it. Kid's smarter than David gave him credit for. He ended the call, sat there for another 10 minutes, then left. I spent the rest of that first day trying everything. Tried to spike my heart rate, think of something terrifying, something that would make the monitor scream. Nothing. Tried to hold my breath, but the machine was breathing for me. Tried to move my tongue against the tube. Couldn't feel my tongue. Tried to pray. Hour 26. Marcus came in. I heard him pull up a chair. Hey, Dad. His voice was soft, almost convincing. They said you might be able to hear me. I don't know if that's true. Pause. I'm sorry we weren't closer these last few years. I was angry, felt like you didn't respect me, didn't think I was good enough. Something in my chest ached. Not physically, I couldn't feel anything physical, but somewhere deeper. Maybe when you wake up, we can fix that. When, not if. Then Linda's voice from the doorway. Marcus. Yeah? Did your father ever talk to you about the will? The warmth in the room evaporated. No, why? Just wondering what he told you about the business, the assets. He didn't tell me anything. You know how he was. Right. Papers rustling. Well, if it comes to that, we'll need to know where everything stands. Mom, he's not even... I know, I'm just saying, we should be prepared. Marcus left 20 minutes later. Hour 41. Rachel showed up with coffee, sat with Linda in the corner. They thought I couldn't hear them whispering. How bad is it? Rachel asked. They don't know. Could be days, could be weeks, could be... Linda trailed off. What about the insurance? Tom's looking into it. And the house? Linda, I'm just asking. Linda sighed. Everything's complicated. There are policies, accounts, the business. Your father kept things separate. Separate from you? Separate from everyone. I'd set things up carefully, protected what I built. Tom had minority stake in the business, 30%. Linda had the house, but not the commercial properties. Marcus and Rachel had trust funds they couldn't access until 30. I'd structured it that way for a reason. Hour 53. A new voice, professional, measured. Mrs. Marchetti, I'm Robert Chen. I handled your husband's estate planning. A lawyer. Thank you for coming, Linda said. Papers, lots of papers, the sound of pages turning. The will is straightforward, but there are contingencies we need to discuss. If your husband is declared incompetent, you have power of attorney. All medical decisions fall to you. Financial decisions require court approval, but given the circumstances, that's usually granted quickly. And the business? That's more complex. Your husband structured the ownership to prevent any single person from taking control. You'd need approval from the board, and Tom owns a significant share. Tom and I have an understanding. I see. More rustling. Rachel's voice. Mom, is this the will? The one from last year? No, we updated it. When? Last month. My heart should have stopped. Does Dad know about this? Linda hesitated. Just a second. He signed it. He was distracted, watching some game, but he signed it. I remembered. Playoffs, Lakers game. Linda had come in with a stack of papers. Refinancing documents, she'd said. Sign here, here, and here. I already read through them. I signed. Didn't even look at the pages. What changed? Rachel asked. Just some technical updates. Robert said we needed to clarify some language. What language? Rachel, this isn't the time. But it was. It absolutely was. Because I was laying 3 feet away and they were discussing documents I signed without reading, and every word felt like dirt being shoveled onto my grave. Hour 68. The doctor came back, different one, older. I heard him flip through a chart. We've completed the neurological assessment. There is brain activity, more than we initially thought. Hope flared in my chest. What does that mean? Linda asked. It could mean several things. There's a condition called locked-in syndrome where the patient is fully conscious but unable to move or communicate. It's rare but possible. So he could be awake right now. Say yes. Tell her yes. We don't have clear evidence of that. The brain activity we're seeing could be autonomic, involuntary. We need to run more tests. And if it is locked-in syndrome, what then? Recovery is extremely rare. Most patients remain in that state permanently. They require full-time care, feeding tubes, ventilators. It's a very difficult situation for families. Silence. I need to be honest with you, Mrs. Marchetti. You need to decide about life support. If his condition doesn't improve in the next few days, you'll need to consider whether continuing aggressive intervention is what your husband would have wanted. Can we have some time to discuss it as a family? Of course, take all the time you need. The doctor left. Linda stepped into the hallway. I heard the door close but not latch. Voices filtered through. Tom spoke first. If we wait too long, the insurance policy expires. It has to be this week. I know, Linda said. Do you? Because if he dies next week, it's half the payout. This week, it's double. That's the difference between comfortable and set for life. What if he wakes up? Linda's voice cracked. Marcus answered, cold, flat. He won't, and even if he does, he'll be a vegetable. You want to change his diapers for 20 years, pay for round-the-clock nursing, watch him drool, and stop, Linda said. She was crying now. I'm being realistic, Mom. Dad would hate existing like that. You know he would. Tom again. We're not killing him, Lynn. We're letting him go. That's different. The door opened, footsteps. They filed back in. I felt Linda's hand on mine, cold fingers. I'm sorry, she whispered. The doctor returned an hour later. We've decided, Linda said. Her voice was steady now, resolved. We want to start end-of-life planning. Do not resuscitate, comfort measures only. I understand. I'll prepare the paperwork. We can begin the process tomorrow. Tomorrow. I had hours. I summoned everything, every ounce of strength, will, rage, terror, focused it all on my left hand, my index finger. Move, move, move. It twitched. Once. Barely. But it moved. The nurse was in the corner, scrolling through her phone. She didn't look up.
I spent the entire night trying to make it happen again. The finger, left index finger, I'd felt it move, I knew I had, but nothing. Hours of concentrating until my mind felt like it would shatter, and nothing. Maybe it had been involuntary, a spasm. Maybe I'd imagined it because I was losing my mind trapped in this body. Hour 74. Morning light changed the quality of sound in the room, warmer, softer. Then I heard them coming. Multiple footsteps, voices in the hallway. The door opened. Linda, Tom, Marcus, Rachel, all of them. Thank you for coming in, the doctor said. Different voice, not the one from yesterday. This one was older, female. I know this is incredibly difficult. Chairs scraped. They were sitting down, surrounding me. I have the DNR paperwork here, she continued. Do not resuscitate. This means if your husband's heart stops, we won't perform CPR or other interventions. Given his prognosis and the quality of life you'd have if he survived, this is the humane choice. It allows for a natural death. Natural. Where do I sign? Linda asked. No hesitation, not even a pause. Papers rustling, then the sound I'd been dreading. Pen on paper, scratch, scratch, scratch. My wife signing my death warrant. Thank you, Mrs. Marchetti. This will go into effect immediately. I focused everything on my left hand, the finger, the one that had moved before. Move, move, move. It twitched, just barely, a flutter. But no one was looking at my hand. They were looking at the paperwork. What happens now? Rachel asked. Her voice was quiet, small. We keep him comfortable, continue supportive care, but if his condition deteriorates, we won't take aggressive measures. How long, Marcus? There's no way to know. His body's strong, could be hours, could be several days. Tom cleared his throat. We understand. Thank you, doctor. Footsteps, the doctor leaving. Silence settled over the room like snow. Then Tom spoke. Marcus, can I talk to you outside for a second? Sure. 2 sets of footsteps, the door closing, but not all the way. I could still hear them. They were right outside. Tom's voice, low. After the funeral, we need to move fast on the business sale. I already have buyers lined up. 2 commercial HVAC companies want the client list alone. We're looking at 7 figures. And Mom's on board that's selling? Your mom thinks she's getting the insurance money and her share of the estate. She doesn't know about the clause. What clause? The one in the updated partnership agreement David signed 3 months ago. If he dies while still majority owner, his shares convert to voting shares that I control. She gets cash value but no say in operations. We can sell without her approval. Marcus laughed. Actually laughed. That's fucked up. He should have given you equity years ago, made you a real partner. He made this necessary. What about Rachel?
What about her? She gets her trust fund when she's 30. That's what David wanted. We're just helping things along. My chest was ice. Not just pulling the plug, not just taking my business. They'd planned this. Tom had been planning this for months. The updated partnership agreement, I remembered signing it. Tom brought it to the office, said it was just clarifying management structure. I had trusted him. And Linda didn't even know she was being screwed. The door opened. They came back inside. Everything okay? Linda asked. Yeah, just needed to know. Rachel's voice. I'm gonna get coffee. Anyone want anything? I'll come with you. Footsteps, the door again. Just Linda and Tom now. Are you okay? Tom asked. Linda's voice was tight. I don't know. This feels wrong. I know, but it's what he would have wanted. David wouldn't want to live like this. How do you know what he would have wanted? Did he ever talk to you about it? Come on, Lynn, you know David. He was all about control, about being strong. He'd hate being helpless. Maybe. There's no maybe. This is mercy. Footsteps in the hallway. A nurse coming in. Just checking vitals, she said. Cheerful, young voice. I felt her presence next to the bed. Heard the blood pressure cuff inflate, the thermometer beep. Routine checks. This was it. This was my chance. I gathered everything, every shred of consciousness, will, desperation, funneled it all into that finger. Move. The finger twitched. Move. Again, a little more this time. Move. It lifted, just slightly, then fell. The nurse stopped. I felt her staring at my hand. Did you see that? She said. See what, Linda? His finger, I think it moved. Moved? Hold on. The nurse called out. Jamie, can you come here for a second? Another set of footsteps, another nurse. Watch his left hand. Silence. They were both staring now. I tried again, pushed everything into that finger. Nothing. Come on, come on, come on. Nothing. I don't see anything, the second nurse said. I swear it moved, like a twitch. Probably just a muscle spasm. Happens sometimes with sedation. Yeah, probably. They left, both of them. Did you see it move? Linda asked Tom. No, the nurse said it was a spasm. Right. Silence. Then Linda's voice quieter. The DNR is signed. How long until... She couldn't finish the sentence. Tom. Could be hours, could be days. His body's strong. We'll wait, Tom said. Minutes passed, maybe 10, maybe 20. Hard to tell time when you're buried alive in your own body. Then I heard chairs scraping, movement. I'm gonna step out and make some calls, Linda said. Work stuff. Sure, I'll stay with him. The door opened, closed. I was alone with Tom. Footsteps approaching the bed, close, right next to me. I felt pressure on my face, near my mouth, the breathing tube, someone's hand touching it. Sorry, big brother, Tom whispered. His voice was right next to my ear. But you're worth more to me, dead. The pressure increased. He was pressing on the tube, not pulling it, not disconnecting it, just applying pressure, cutting off the airflow. The alarm should have gone off. They didn't. He knew exactly what he was doing, exactly how much pressure, enough to suffocate me slowly without triggering the monitors. My lungs burned, not really because I couldn't feel them, but my brain knew. Oxygen dropping, consciousness dimming. This was it. This was how I died, not from the surgery, not from the coma, murdered by my own brother. No. I focused everything, not on breathing, I couldn't control that, not on the alarms, I couldn't reach them. On my finger, move. The finger twitched. Move. Again. Move, move, move. I kept moving it, lifting it, dropping it, tapping against the bed rail. And through the gathering darkness, through the suffocation, I heard the door open. What are you? Oh my God! The pressure released suddenly, air flooded back. He's moving, his finger's moving. The nurse, the young one. Look, at his hand. More footsteps running. Oh my God, he's moving. Tom's voice stammering. I didn't. Get the doctor now. And I kept moving that finger again and again and again. I wasn't dead yet. Everything happened at once. The hand released, air rushed back through the tube. My vision, I didn't even know I had vision, burst with stars. Get the doctor, now. Footsteps running, the young nurse's voice, high and urgent. He's moving, his hand is moving. More footsteps flooding in, different voices overlapping. Which hand? The left, look. I kept moving it, couldn't stop now, lifted the finger, dropped it, again. Oh my God. A new voice, authoritative, the doctor. How long has this been happening? Just now, I walked in and saw it. I pushed harder, not just the finger anymore, everything I had. My eyelids felt like they weighed 1,000 pounds, but I forced them. They fluttered. His eyes, he's trying to open his eyes. Light, blinding, and painful, and the most beautiful thing I'd ever experienced. Shapes, blurry, moving, faces hovering over me. He's conscious, he's in there. Linda's voice, crying. I couldn't tell if it was real. That's impossible, Tom. His voice had changed, higher, panicked. My eyelids opened more, just slits, but enough. A woman's face, white coat, glasses, the doctor. Mr. Marchetti, can you hear me? Blink if you can hear me. I blinked. Oh my God, she breathed. Behind her, I could see them. Linda, hand over her mouth. Rachel, frozen. Marcus, staring. And Tom. Tom's face was pure fear. This is remarkable, the doctor said. True locked-in syndrome with rapid emergence. I've only read about cases like this. We need to run tests immediately. She turned to my family. I need everyone to step out. We'd have to assess his neurological function. But, Linda started. Now, please, this is critical. They filed out slowly. Linda touched my hand as she passed. Tom hung back, staring at me. Our eyes met. I knew that he knew. I saw it register on his face, the calculations running, the fear turning to something else. Then a nurse ushered him out. The next 6 hours were a blur of tests, lights in my eyes. Squeeze this hand. Can you feel this? Move your toes. Blink once for yes, twice for no. I couldn't do most of it. My body was still mostly dead weight, but my right hand started responding. Weak, but there. My head could turn slightly to the left, then back to center. They removed the breathing tube. I'd never felt anything more violent, the tube sliding out of my throat, the gagging, the burning, but then air, real air, my own breath. My voice was gone. When I tried to speak, nothing came out but a rasp. The doctor, Dr. Reeves, I'd learned, leans close. Don't try to talk yet. Your vocal cords need time. We'll use yes, no questions. 1 finger twitch for yes, 2 for no. Understand? I twitched once. Good. Can you hear me? Once. Do you know where you are? Once. Do you remember what happened, the surgery? Once. She paused, glanced at her notes, then back at me. This is going to sound unusual, but I need to ask. Patients with locked-in syndrome sometimes report being conscious during their coma. Did you hear us while you were under? I looked directly at her, forced my throat to work, pushed air through my vocal cords. Everything. It came out as a croak, barely a whisper, but she heard it. Her face went pale. You heard everything? I twitched my finger once. I need to document this. What you're describing is extremely rare. The implications for... The door burst open. Linda rushed in. Mascara streaked down her face. Oh, thank God you're awake. She grabbed my hand, squeezed it, crying into my palm. I couldn't pull away. I could barely move. I thought we'd lost you, she sobbed. I thought you were gone. Behind her, Tom entered, then Marcus, then Rachel. Jesus, man, you scared us, Tom said. I turned my head, slowly, looked directly at him. He froze. I held his gaze. Couldn't speak, couldn't accuse him, but I needed him to see. I know what you did. Tom's expression shifted. The false relief cracked, just for a second. Then he glanced at Linda, then back at me, smiled. We should let him rest, Tom said. Doctor's orders, right? Dr. Reeves nodded. Yes, he needs time to recover. This is an enormous strain on his system. Of course. Linda kissed my forehead. We'll be right outside. We're not going anywhere. They were ushered out. All of them. I tried to catch Dr. Reeves' eye, tried to make her understand, but she was writing notes, not looking at me. A nurse, the young one who'd seen me moving, checked my IV. You need anything? She asked. I tried to speak. My throat was raw. The words came out broken. Don't leave me alone. She pawed at my hand. You need rest. Your family will be right outside. No! But she was already leaving. The door closed. I was alone again. The room was quiet except for the monitors, beeping, steady. I stared at the ceiling, tried to move more than just my fingers, my arm, my leg, anything. Nothing. I was stronger than I was before, but still helpless. Minutes passed. Then I heard it, the door opening. Footsteps, slow, deliberate. Hey, Davy. Tom. He walked to the side of the bed, looked down at me, pulled up a chair, sat down. We need to talk. I tried to move, tried to reach for the call button. It was somewhere to my right, but my arm wouldn't respond. Tom leaned back, crossed his arms. That was a hell of a thing you pulled back there. Really had me going for a minute. He laughed, soft. Thought I was seeing a ghost. I glared at him. I know you heard me when I was helping things along, and I'm guessing you heard the other stuff too, the conversations, the planning. My finger moved, twitched against the blanket. Yeah, thought so. Tom sighed. Here's the thing, David. You were always the smart one, the responsible one, but you were also the selfish one. You had everything, and you couldn't share. Not with me, not with your own kids. You just kept taking and building and holding on so tight that everyone around you suffocated. He leaned forward. I gave you 5 years of working for scraps while you played king. Marcus gave you his whole life trying to earn your respect. And what did you give us? Crumbs. I tried to speak. My voice came out as a rasp. You're insane. No, I'm done waiting, and here's what's going to happen. You're going to have a setback, a complication. The doctor will be very sorry, but these things happen with brain injuries. Your recovery was too fast. Your body couldn't handle it. Tragic, really. He walked towards the door. The NDR is still in effect, by the way. Linda signed it this morning, so when your heart stops, and it will, the nurses won't do a damn thing. They'll know, I whispered. Tom smiled. Know what? That your brother sat with you? That I was here when you died? I'm grieving, David. We all are. He opened the door. Get some rest, big brother. You've earned it. The door closed. I was alone again. My heart was pounding. I could feel it now, my body waking up in pieces. The monitors beeped faster. I looked at the call button, right side of the bed, maybe 2 feet away. I focused everything on my right arm. Move. It twitched. Move. My fingers curled slightly. Move. My arm lifted an inch off the bed, then fell back. Not enough. The door opened again. I stopped breathing, but it wasn't Tom. It was Dr. Reeves. She walked in, closed the door behind her, and looked at me with an expression I couldn't read. Mr. Marchetti, when you said you heard everything, what exactly did you mean?
Tom didn't move from the chair, just sat there watching me. I don't know what you think you heard, he said quietly. You were on heavy drugs, unconscious, brain dead, according to the doctors. People hallucinate in those states, dream things that feel real. I forced words through my ruined throat. Life, insurance, double this week. Tom's jaw tightened. You can't prove anything. It's your word against ours, and you were clinically brain dead, David. No court would believe you remembered conversations that happened while you were under. He was right. I knew he was right, but I had one card left to play, one desperate bluff. Recorded, I rasped. Everything, they have it. Tom froze. What? Hospital policy, ICU, audio, recording. I didn't actually know if that was true. I was guessing, hoping, praying that in this litigious world, hospitals protected themselves by documenting everything. Tom's face changed. The color drained. You're lying. Legal protection, I whispered. They heard everything. For 10 seconds, Tom just stared at me. Then he broke. Fuck. He put his head in his hands. Fuck. His shoulders started shaking. It wasn't supposed to be like this, he said, voice cracking. You don't understand. You gave him everything, David. The Marchetti name, the business, the respect, everything. And me? I had to beg for a job in the company I helped you build. I worked weekends, holidays, covered for you when you wanted to take Linda to Cabo. And what did I get? 30% and a pat on the head. He looked up. His eyes were red. Marcus worked twice as hard as you ever did, and you made him grovel for scraps. Linda's been miserable for a decade, but stayed because you controlled everything. We were all stuck, waiting for you to die or let go, and you never would. So you tried to kill me? No, Tom shook his head. The complication was real, the embolism, that wasn't us. But when you went under, when the doctors said you weren't coming back, we saw a way out. The tube, I managed. You pressed... I couldn't do it. Tom's voice broke again. I put my hand there and I thought I could, but I couldn't. I wanted to scare you. I don't know. I wasn't thinking straight. I didn't believe him. Linda knew? Linda wanted out, wanted a divorce, but didn't want to split the assets. This was cleaner. Marcus wanted his inheritance now instead of waiting until you're 90. We all wanted the same thing, freedom from you. The door opened. Dr. Reeves walked in. Behind her, 2 police officers. Tom stood up fast. What's... Mr. Marchetti, one officer said. Not me, Tom. We need you to come with us. On what grounds? Dr. Reeves spoke, her voice clinical and cold. ICU rooms are equipped with audio monitoring for patient safety and legal protection. A nurse flagged several concerning conversations. We've reviewed the recordings from the past 4 days. Tom went white. You have the right to remain silent. I watched them cuff my brother. Watched him look back at me, his face a mixture of hatred and betrayal and something that might have been regret. This isn't over, he said. Then they let him out. Dr. Reeves approached the bed. We've also contacted Mrs. Marchetti and your son. They're being brought in for questioning. I closed my eyes. Thank you, I whispered. The investigation took 3 months. They found everything: the updated will Linda Hutney signed during the Lakers game, the insurance policy with a time-sensitive clause, text messages between Tom, Linda, and Marcus discussing contingencies and timing. But here's the thing about almost murder. If no one actually dies and you can't prove intent beyond reasonable doubt, the charges don't stick. Tom served 6 months for reckless endangerment and attempted harm, out and 4 for good behavior. Linda and Marcus were never charged. Conspiracy requires proof of agreement to commit a crime, and their lawyers argued they were just discussing hypotheticals, planning for worst-case scenarios. The updated will? Legal. The DNR? Their right as next of kin. The court of public opinion was less forgiving. It's been 8 months since I woke up. My body recovered, mostly. I can walk, but I need a cane. Nerve damage in my left leg. My hands shake sometimes. Physical therapy 3 times a week. Linda and I divorced. She claims she never would have gone through with it, that she was just processing grief in an unhealthy way. Her lawyer presented texts where she'd expressed doubt, moments of hesitation. Maybe she was telling the truth. Maybe she was just a better liar than Tom. I signed the papers, took the settlement, let her have the house. Marcus, I haven't spoken to since the hospital. He was fired from 3 jobs after word spread about what happened. People talk, small community. He's working retail now, last I heard. Blamed me for ruining his life.
Rachel calls sometimes. She wasn't involved, genuinely didn't know, but things are different now, strained. She doesn't know how to talk to me. I don't know how to talk to her. How do you maintain a relationship when half of your family tried to kill the other half? Tom got out 2 months ago, sent me a letter. I burned it without reading it. I sold the business, couldn't stomach going back. Too many memories of Tom in the office, clopping me on the back, calling me big brother. The sale made me wealthy, more money than I'll ever need. I live in a small apartment now, 2 bedrooms, quiet building, safe locks, no family photos on the walls. Just me. Tuesday nights, I go to a support group, Locked In Syndrome Survivors. There are 7 of us, most recovered fully. One man still uses a wheelchair. We meet in a church basement and drink bad coffee and talk about what it's like to be buried alive in your own body. Tonight, I told them my story. I'd never shared the whole thing before, just pieces. But tonight, I let it all out. The surgery, the voices, the planning, Tom's hand on the breathing tube, the finger twitch that saved my life. They were horrified. A woman named Carol, locked in for 6 weeks after a stroke, asked the question I'd been avoiding. Do you forgive them? I sat with it, turned it over in my mind. My wife, who slept next to me for 28 years, signed papers to let me die. My son, who I raised and provided for, said finally when he thought I was gone. My brother, who I gave a career and a future, pressed his hand on my breathing tube and whispered that I was worth more dead. They tried to kill me for money. They failed because of a twitching finger and dumb luck. I don't know if what I feel is forgiveness or just exhaustion. Carol nodded. She understood. I go home after the meeting. Small apartment, 2 bedrooms, one for me, one for nobody. I make dinner, frozen lasagna, eat it alone at the kitchen table, wash the dish, the fork, the knife. Go to bed. The bedroom is quiet, safe, no machines beeping, no voices discussing my death, but I can't sleep. I lie there in the dark and I hear it, the rhythmic hiss of the ventilator, the steady beep of the heart monitor, the scratch of a pen on DNR paperwork. It's not real. I know it's not real, but my brain doesn't care. Some nights I wake up convinced I'm still paralyzed. I test my fingers, move them one by one. Proof I'm alive. Proof I escaped. Other nights I wonder if I really did. I'm alive. My heart beats. My lungs fill with air, but I'm not sure I survived. Some prisons don't have bars. Some are just the memory of voices you loved discussing the best way to let you die. I close my eyes. The ventilator hisses. In, out, and I wait for morning.